When John Cena's final premium live event appearance ended with him flat on his back and a hooded figure escaping through a steel cage, nobody expected the chaos that turned San Diego's Petco Park into the most controversial wrestling night of the year. What started as a celebration of legends became a shocking betrayal fest that left the entire wrestling world asking one question: who can you even trust anymore? Picture this. 46,000 fans packed into an outdoor stadium, breaking every Survivor Series attendance record in history. The energy was electric, the stakes were astronomical, and by the time the night ended, careers were shattered, relationships were destroyed, and mysteries were planted that nobody saw coming. This wasn't just another wrestling show. This was the night WWE flipped the script on everything we thought we knew about loyalty, revenge, and what happens when you mix legends with chaos inside two steel cages. Let's start with the moment that broke the internet and probably broke John Cena's heart. The 16-time world champion walked into Survivor Series as the Intercontinental Champion, ready to defend his title in what everyone knew would be his absolute last premium live event match ever. His opponent? Dirty Dom Mysterio, the cocky son of a legend who had been talking trash for weeks. The match was set in Dom's hometown of San Diego, and the crowd was absolutely torn between respecting Cena's legendary career and supporting their hometown hero. What nobody expected was the return that changed everything.
The match started exactly how you'd expect. Cena brought that classic intensity, Dom brought the arrogance and the dirty tactics. Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez were at ringside doing everything they could to give Dom the advantage, tripping Cena, distracting the referee, throwing cheap shots whenever possible. But Cena is Cena. He fought through all of it, hitting his signature moves, getting the crowd on their feet with that never-give-up attitude that made him a legend in the first place. Then, Dom tried a Hurricane Rana off the barricade and landed in a way that looked absolutely brutal. He grabbed his shoulder, medics rushed in, and for a moment, everyone thought the match might actually be stopped. That's when things got wild. Turns out Dom was faking the entire injury. The second the referee was distracted checking on him, Roxanne and Raquel junked Cena in the ring, hitting him with a Tejana bomb and pop rocks. The referee was furious, immediately ejecting both women from ringside, but Dom had already hit the 619 on Cena. The match continued with both men trading devastating moves. Cena hit the attitude adjustment, but Dom kicked out. Dom hit a frog splash. Cena kicked out. The intensity was through the roof. Then Cena accidentally took out the referee with a missed shoulder tackle. With the official down, Finn Balor and JD McDonough from Judgment Day stormed the ring to attack Cena. But Cena being Cena, hit them both with a double attitude adjustment that had the entire crowd losing their minds. He grabbed Dom, hit another AA, and with no referee to count, it looked like Cena just needed an official to come down and end this.
That's when her music hit. Liv Morgan, who hadn't been seen since June when she suffered a separated shoulder injury, walked out to an absolutely deafening reaction. She stared down Dominik, walked right up to him, and slapped him across the face. Everyone thought she was done with him. Everyone thought the romance was over. Then, in the most shocking twist, she turned around, jumped into Cena's arms like she was going for a hug, and hit him with a vicious low blow. The crowd went from cheering to complete shock in half a second. Liv grabbed the Intercontinental Championship and smashed Cena across the face with it. Dom hit another 619, climbed to the top rope, and connected with the frog splash. The referee crawled back into position, counted to 3, and just like that, Dominik Mysterio became the new Intercontinental Champion. John Cena's final premium live event match ended in defeat, betrayal, and absolute chaos. Dom and Liv celebrated in the ring, reunited and holding championship gold, while Cena lay there realizing his legendary career just ended with one of the most controversial finishes in Survivor Series history. But wait, because the chaos was just getting started. Before the night's main event, Stephanie Vaquer defended her Women's World Championship against Nikki Bella in a match that had serious bad blood behind it.
Nikki, a WWE Hall of Famer and former Divas champion, had been vocal about feeling disrespected by the new generation. She wanted to prove that the veterans still had what it takes to compete at the highest level. Vaquer, meanwhile, had been absolutely dominant all year, racking up more wins than any other woman on the roster. This wasn't just a title match. This was old school versus new school, and both women came ready to prove their point. Nikki went straight after Vaquer's previously injured knee, trying to weaken the champion and set up for her finishing moves. She was aggressive, methodical, targeting that knee with kicks, submissions, and anything else she could think of. Vaquer fought back with her high-flying offense, but you could tell the knee was bothering her. Nikki almost had her with the rack attack, but Vaquer got her leg on the ropes to break the count. The match spilled to the outside, where Vaquer hit the Devil's Kiss right on the announce table, a move that sent shockwaves through both women's bodies. Back in the ring, Vaquer connected with her finishing sequence, hitting a Meteora knee strike followed by a corkscrew splash for the pinfall victory. She retained her championship, proving that the new generation isn't going anywhere, but Nikki showed everyone she can still go at the highest level, even as a Hall of Famer coming back into the ring.
Now let's talk about those WarGames matches, because both of them delivered absolute carnage inside those dual steel cages. The women kicked off the night with Team Rhea Ripley facing Team Asuka. Rhea's team consisted of herself, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and the returning AJ Lee. Team Asuka brought Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. These women absolutely destroyed each other with weapons, cage walls, and pure aggression. The highlight that had everyone talking was Io Sky dressing up in a garbage can costume and leaping off the top of the cage onto 5 opponents below. The impact was insane. The crowd went ballistic, and it set up the finish perfectly. AJ Lee locked her rival Becky Lynch in the Black Widow submission, and with nowhere to go and no way to escape, Becky was forced to tap out. Team Rhea Ripley won the Women's WarGames match, but more importantly, AJ Lee made Becky Lynch submit in a moment that settled years of rivalry between two of the most iconic women in WWE history. Then came the Men's WarGames match, and this is where things got absolutely bonkers. Team Cody Rhodes brought together the most unlikely alliance in wrestling history. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso on one team. Think about that for a second. Roman Reigns, the guy who has been feuding with basically everyone, teaming with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, two men he has massive history with. Their opponents were equally stacked. The Vision, consisting of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, plus Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in his corner. This match was absolute chaos from the opening bell, but the story everyone was watching was Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. These two have a hatred that goes back years, and even inside 2 steel cages surrounded by 8 other competitors, they went straight for each other. Roman and Brock brawled like their lives depended on it. Superman punches, spears through tables, absolute brutality that reminded everyone why their rivalry is legendary. CM Punk showed up wearing gear that paid tribute to his late father, with a leather jacket covered in spikes and his ring gear featuring horror movie themes. The crowd was chanting his name as he sat on top of the cage, giving the go-to-sleep signal. Braun Breaker was showing off his incredible power, hitting spears on everyone in sight. Logan Paul was doing Logan Paul things, pulling off moves that shouldn't be possible for someone his size. Drew McIntyre was hitting Claymore kicks left and right. The match was complete pandemonium, with near falls, huge spots, and everyone fighting like their careers depended on it.
Then came the finish that nobody saw coming. As the match reached its climax, CM Punk was setting up for what looked like the winning move. Suddenly, a hooded figure dressed all in black climbed over the cage and entered the ring. He super-kicked Punk, then hit him with a stomp that looked exactly like Seth Rollins' finishing move.
The announcers immediately started speculating it was Rollins, but that didn't make sense because Seth just had shoulder surgery weeks ago. The mysterious figure climbed back out of the cage and disappeared into the crowd before anyone could unmask him. With Punk laid out and defenseless, Braun Breaker hit a spear for the 3 count. Team Vision won the match, but the bigger story was the identity of that hooded figure. Fans immediately started debating online. Some think it was Austin Theory, who hasn't been seen on WWE television since July. Others think it's someone completely unexpected, setting up a major storyline heading into Royal Rumble season. The aftermath of the match was just as dramatic as the finish. Roman Reigns stood in the ring staring at his partners with pure disappointment written across his face. He helped CM Punk to his feet, and they shared a fist bump, showing mutual respect despite the loss. Then, Roman turned his attention to Cody Rhodes. The two locked eyes, exchanged some words that the cameras couldn't quite pick up, and Roman delivered one final message before walking away. He looked Cody dead in the face and said this is the last time they ever teamed together. The Tribal Chief made it clear that their temporary alliance is over, and heading into WrestleMania season, all bets are off. Roman walked out of that cage alone, leaving both Cody and Punk to wonder what comes next and who that mysterious attacker was. Triple H addressed the media after the show and dropped some major hints about what's coming. He said Roman Reigns is bigger than being a world champion at this point in his career, but acknowledged that either CM Punk or Cody Rhodes seems destined to collide with Roman soon. The question is when, where, and under what circumstances. WrestleMania is just months away, and with this mystery man now in the mix potentially targeting CM Punk, the road to Vegas is going to be absolutely wild. Is this mystery figure working with Roman? Is he working with Seth Rollins from afar? Or is this someone completely new looking to make their mark by taking out one of WWE's biggest stars?
What makes this whole situation even more interesting is that WWE set a new Survivor Series attendance record with over 46,000 fans packed into Petco Park. The energy from that outdoor stadium setting was incredible, and it proved that WWE can deliver massive stadium shows outside of WrestleMania. But more than the attendance numbers or the spectacular setting, this show was about moments that will be talked about for years. John Cena losing his final premium live event match to Dominik Mysterio with Liv Morgan's shocking return. The Mystery Man costing CM Punk and his team the main event. Roman Reigns declaring his alliance with Cody Rhodes permanently over. These are the building blocks of massive storylines heading into the most important time of the wrestling year. Liv Morgan's return alone is going to shift the entire landscape of WWE's women's division. She was supposed to be out until early next year, but she pushed through rehab, beat all expectations, and came back 5 months ahead of schedule wearing $1,000 Crystal Swarovski Air Jordans to make her statement. She immediately reestablished herself as Dominik Mysterio's partner in crime and helped him reclaim championship gold. When asked on the post-show why she returned early, Liv kept things mysterious, simply saying it was a little surprise and that everyone's going to have to watch her to see what happens next. That's the kind of response that has fans buzzing because it means WWE has major plans for her moving forward. Her involvement with Judgment Day just got a whole lot more interesting. And with Dominik now holding the Intercontinental Championship again, they're positioned as one of the most dangerous duos in wrestling. For John Cena, this loss doesn't diminish his legendary career one bit. If anything, putting over a young star like Dominik Mysterio in his hometown on Cena's final premium live event is exactly the kind of move that cements Cena's legacy as someone who always did what was best for the business. He still has one final match coming up on December 13th during Saturday night's main event, where he'll face the winner of the Last Time Is Now tournament. That will truly be his last match ever. The final curtain call on one of the greatest careers in wrestling history. But losing to Dom with Liv's interference creates sympathy for Cena going into that retirement match and ensures that when he finally walks away, the fans will give him the send-off he deserves. Sometimes the greatest thing a legend can do is make a new star,
And that's exactly what happened at Survivor Series, whether Cena wanted it that way or not. The mystery surrounding the hooded attacker is going to dominate wrestling conversations for weeks. Everyone from casual fans to hardcore analysts is trying to figure out who that person was. The popular theory is Austin Theory, who has been completely off television for months and has a similar build to what fans saw. But WWE is keeping everyone guessing intentionally, planting seeds for what could be a months-long storyline revealing the attacker's identity and motivations. Was he hired by someone to take out CM Punk specifically? Is he acting alone with his own agenda? Will he strike again at upcoming shows? These are the questions that keep fans engaged between major events and make every episode of Raw and SmackDown must-watch television. WWE has become masters at creating these kinds of mysteries, and based on social media reaction, this one has people absolutely hooked. Looking at the bigger picture, Survivor Series successfully set up multiple major storylines heading into the Royal Rumble and eventually WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for a potential trilogy match. CM Punk dealing with this mystery attacker and possibly facing Roman Reigns for a title. Braun Breaker emerging as a legitimate main event threat after pinning CM Punk in the biggest match of his career. Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan as a power couple with championship gold. The women's division building toward potential dream matches at WrestleMania. Every piece is falling into place for what could be an incredible WrestleMania season, and Survivor Series was the catalyst that got everything moving. The show delivered shocking returns, controversial finishes, mysterious attackers, and enough drama to fuel months of storytelling. That's exactly what a major wrestling event should do, leave fans wanting more and desperate to see what happens next. San Diego will remember this night for a long time. The city showed up in record numbers, created an incredible atmosphere, and witnessed history in multiple ways. John Cena's final premium live event, Liv Morgan's shocking return, a hooded figure attacking CM Punk in the main event, Roman Reigns declaring the end of his alliance with Cody Rhodes. These are moments that define wrestling as the ultimate unpredictable entertainment. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to return, or what twist is waiting around the corner. That's why millions of fans worldwide stay obsessed with this business, because nights like Survivor Series remind us that anything can happen when you put the best athletes and performers inside those rings and steel cages. The fallout from this show will be felt all the way through WrestleMania, and wrestling fans couldn't be more excited to see how all these storylines play out over the coming months.